Hello and welcome to my video of the breakdown of Sunday slate. I'm going to be going over the 6 games August 2nd. Let's go ahead and start with Washington against Brooklyn. So I think this game is going to be a very competitive game. Um, so I like this. I expect this to be a close game. On the Washington side, I like Thomas Bryant. Let's start with him. He got 34 minutes against Phoenix. Shot 4 for 12. Yeah, this is a guy, if he gets the minutes, he can get you good fantasy points. At 4,800, he's somebody I would consider. Another guy I like to play point guards against Brooklyn. Since we have a timeshare point guard, I would consider Ish Smith. I mean, this guy got 27 minutes. At 3,800, that's enough. He can get you here. He got 31 points. So this is a guy that could potentially be a sleeper, someone who could save you some money to get the studs to pick in your lineups. So that's someone to consider. On Brooklyn, so that's it for Washington. On Brooklyn, I'm gonna go back to who I wanted to pick before against Orlando. They screwed me so bad, but it was a blowout. That's how I'll go. But I'm gonna go back to Karis LeVert. I mean, this guy. He's a good player, and if this is going to be a competitive game the way I expect him to lead his team and go. He can go off in this game. I mean, Washington sucks; they don't play any defense. So, Karis LeVert, somebody to consider. Another guy I like, Jared Allen. I'm going to go back to him. I mean, DeAndre Jordan's out, so he's going to be getting most of the minutes. Again, it was a blowout last game, so he didn't play like 30 minutes. He played a little under. But if it's a close game, the way I expect it to go, he's going to get a lot of minutes, and he could go off. Those are the two guys that stand out to me on Brooklyn. Okay, next game, Portland against Boston. Let's go over the Portland side. So on Portland, only guys I like to consider are Lillard, Nurkic, McCollum, and then maybe Anthony. I mean, but not really. I don't really like Carmelo Anthony. Um, we saw Nurkic go off. I mean, he was really cheap last time, and he went ham. Um, Now they priced him up. He got a big price boost, so I don't like him now. I think this is the spot where you don't want to pick him. I mean, I know like he can be good in this matchup. He could still do well, but at that price point, I don't know. I'd rather pick like someone else. I'd rather use that money to spend up on somebody else. So in Portland, I don't really like anybody. In Boston side, I like again Tatum. I think he's the leader of the team. He had a really bad game last game. He went 2 for 18. I mean, but if he like catches fire and he starts to hit his shots and do well, he can go off. So I know he's expensive, but if you want to be different and pick somebody from Boston, that's the guy to go with, I think. Another guy like Tice, if you want somebody I consider going with, but not going to force him in. He got 32 minutes last time, and he got 38 fantasy points against Portland. Not the best matchup for center, but at 5,100, he can save you some money. Maybe he can do well. So that's someone I would consider in Boston. That's the only two guys that I like. And I expect this game to be competitive as well. I do expect this game to be competitive, so no worry for a blowout there. San Antonio against Memphis. Let's start with the San Antonio side. San Antonio, we saw last time DeRozan went off, White went off. The guy that I wasn't sure about, I like Murray more. He screwed me. That guy didn't do well. He had a bad game. But White went off. He really surprised me. But will he do it again? I don't know. I mean, against Memphis is really bad defensively, and they play really fast-paced basketball. They don't play really good defense, so maybe he can do it again. But I don't think I want to spend that much for White. DeRozan, on the other hand, that's somebody I like. At 7,600, he seems to be playing like the point guard, the shooting guard. He plays. He's a distributor. He's the playmaker of the team. So I like him at this price point. I do against this team. He could be someone to consider. He could be a good pick. Now, if you want to save money, Lonnie Walker, fourth, 3,500. The guy got 32 minutes last game. And at that price point, I mean, getting that many minutes, he could he did a pretty decent job last time. Um, yeah, that's somebody I would consider in this matchup. That could be a possible good pick. Um, what's the deal with Patty Mills? He just said he won't play. Okay. So that's San Antonio side. That's who I like. DeRozan, White, Murray, maybe Gay also, but I think Lonnie Walker and DeRozan, those are my two favorite picks on the Spurs. Memphis side, I love Ja Morant. This is, like I said, point guards against the Spurs, they do well. I mean, we saw De'Aaron Fox. I predicted that guy's gonna do well. It was a good matchup for him, and he went ham. So John Morant, he's coming off a really good game, and I could see him doing it again. I could see him doing really well at 7,300. That's worth it. That's a good price for him. Again, this is a great matchup. Um, Another guy I like on Memphis that surprised me with the amount of minutes he got. This guy, Brandon Clark, got 34 minutes. I don't know if he's going to consistently get that many minutes, but I mean, he had a really good game. He hit 7 for 8 shots though, so I don't know if I wouldn't expect him to do that every game. But I mean, he got 38 fantasy points at 4,200. Even if he gets like 30 fantasy points, that's still pretty good. So he's somebody to consider right here. Um, that's it. I expect this to be a competitive matchup as well. Sacramento against Orlando. So Orlando's the only team here that has home court advantage. So that's just something to point out. Let's look at the Sacramento side. In Sacramento, De'Aaron Fox, yeah, he went ham last game. I mean, he was someone I suggested to pick, and he did amazing. I mean, went off. Unbelievable. But in this matchup, I don't like him. I think he's too expensive, and I don't think he's gonna do like super amazing like last game. So that's someone I wouldn't want to pick. On Sacramento, honestly, I don't really like anybody for tomorrow. Maybe let's see, where's Bogdanovich here? Bogdanovich, maybe. I mean, he has a nice price point, and I mean, he shot the ball well last game, so he's someone to consider maybe from Sacramento. But that's about it. On the Orlando side, I like Vucevic. Sacramento, we know they have bad defense, and Nikola Vucevic, he could be a good pick. Like last game they had, it was a blowout, so you couldn't see him like go off for more. But he only scored 37 because the game was a blowout, and he didn't play like as many minutes. He only played 27 minutes. So if he plays the full minutes, gets a full run, like he can be a really good pick. Problem is his price. That's the thing. He's kind of a steep price for someone who's not exactly a superstar. He's a star of his team, but he's not really a superstar. So I don't know if I want to do that. Another pick on Orlando, we saw Fournier. He had a good game. He shot the ball really well last game. In 25 minutes, went 10 for 15, scored 24 points, ended up with 35 fantasy points. So at 5,900, yeah, could be a good pick. I mean, we'll see. It depends who they start at point guard also. That could be dependent on that because we saw DJ Augustin start. He played 26 minutes, and Fultz came off the bench, which he might end up starting this game. Who knows? And he played 19 minutes, so we got to be on the lookout for that. That's about it. Now, Milwaukee against Houston, the marquee matchup. This is going to be an awesome game, I think. This is going to be a high-scoring game and two really good teams, a lot of star talent. Let's start with Milwaukee. So obviously Giannis, I don't need to say anymore. Giannis Antetokounmpo, amazing pick. This is a great matchup for him. He could go crazy in this game, like really crazy. He went for 70 last game. Yeah, I think he could do it again. At $11,000, I don't care. He's worth it. Other guy like a value pick, I think, on Milwaukee is Brook Lopez. This dude can shoot threes. He's a center. He's a big guy. He can post up. and we know the Rockets like to play small ball, so he'll always have a mismatch in his favor. So he can post up, he can shoot threes, because in this matchup there are going to be plenty of opportunities for threes. So Brook Lopez, I like him. I like him actually on Milwaukee. Um, who else do I like on Milwaukee? George Hill. George Hill could possibly be another good pick. I mean, he got 28 minutes, didn't shoot too much, only got 19 fantasy points, but in this matchup, I mean, it's going to be super fast paced. You know, if he shoots the ball more and has more opportunities, he could get more points. So be on the lookout for him. He could possibly be a good sleeper pick. That's about it on Milwaukee. Now let's look at the Houston side. Let's start with Harden. You know, I mean, he went for 85 fantasy points. Wow, boy, he did not miss out during this quarantine. He stayed in shape. This guy, you know, he's the real deal. Um, yeah, so look for him to continue that. I'm sure he's gonna, you know, carry that momentum into this game, and he's gonna want to have a good game. So yeah, Harden definitely can be a good pick. Westbrook, again, another reliable superstar on Houston. Yes, look at that, 30 field goal attempts. Wow. I mean, yeah, at 9,800, I don't care. He's expensive, so worth it. Like, if you can pay for him, yeah, go for it. Another good pick from Houston to consider, Daniel House. So we saw, yeah, he started, and yeah, he shot the ball really well. And the Rockets love to shoot threes. He shot 12. He nailed 6 of them. So if he continues to shoot like that, 4,400, getting around 34, he got 34 fantasy points. If he can do something similar to that, yeah, that could be a great value pick right there. Um, that's about it from the Houston side. Who's going to win this game? I don't know. I mean, this is going to be a super competitive game. I don't expect anybody to blow anyone out. So I think Houston can compete with Milwaukee, but we'll see. And then the final game, Dallas against Phoenix. Let's start with the Dallas side. So on Dallas, only players I'm interested in are Doncic and Porzingis. It's that simple. We saw Porzingis dominate Houston. I mean, 70 points. This is ridiculous. Yeah, I don't care that he's 9,000. Don't care about Doncic being super expensive. Against Phoenix, terrible defensive team that likes to play super fast. Yeah, sign me up. Dallas, you know, I think they're going to win this game. So, yeah, I like those two guys for sure. Trey Burke, I don't expect him to perform like this again. So, I'm sure some people are going to see this and going to be like, oh, yeah, this is a great value pick. But this guy, you know, he always has like that one monster game and then out of the blue, and then he'll never like perform like this again until next season. So I will not be falling for this, and I will not be playing Trey Burke. Don't think he's going to be a good pick. On the Phoenix side, I like Booker. Yeah, 8,600. I mean, we just saw Dallas played Houston. They gave up so many points. That was like an all-star game in the regular season. I mean, that was ridiculous. There was no defense at all. So yeah, I think, you know, he's their main scorer. So yeah, he can definitely be a good pick. But at 8,600, it's not somebody I'm gonna be like trying to pick. But if it works out, maybe. DeAndre Ayton, another guy on Phoenix that I would be interested in picking if you were to pick from this team. Yeah, he's the real deal. He's a great center, so he can score on the inside. He can rebound well. He can get some blocks. So at 8,500 against Dallas, yeah, that could be a good pick right there. Um, that's it on the Phoenix side. That's all I really like. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in and good luck. Have a good one.